Hey everyone, Mercs Rain here. This episode's going to be just a little different. That's because I accidentally recorded the entire episode with two separate microphones, which of course caused this terrible echo as they weren't necessarily in sync. So it's really unusable. We'll hear some of it towards the end of the episode, just so you can see what I decided to scrap. But also there's some important bits. But anyways, the goal for this episode was first I'm going to show you the building in the background, right? The storage room and what I've done to it. And then the plan is we want to get some ender tanks going so that we can get lava from the nether transported to the overworld. So I've sped this up a bit as well, but here we are looking at the front, and we can see I've got lots of different kinds of textures going. We're using the gabbro, we're using marble for some window outline and not. I do want to put some glass in here, but I'm not sure if it's going to work with the angled textures. We can see I did everything to both sides here. The roof is going to be a bit higher, but it's only going to be 2 floors. I'm kind of showing off this pillar, right? And how does the pillar look versus using a framed wall that makes the pillar smaller? You'll see that's kind of a pattern because when we go inside, we're going to do very similar things. So here we are. Look at this grand sort of entryway. We've first and foremost switched out the drawers, right? We used the original were oak drawers and they were very ugly. But now we've got this dark, actually I think it's smooth spruce, and it's framed around the outside with that gabbro, the layered gabbro behind you. So the colors match, and it actually looks pretty pleasing. All of the drawers are also connected, of course, to the drawer controller in the center. All right, so let's look at these pillars, right? So again, I used the large blocks and they look all right, but then I used these framed walls, which bring the pillars down in size. And that gives us a lot more visibility into the drawers. And here I'm gonna show like, look, you would never be able to see that first drawer and what's in it from the hallway. But with the other drawers, or with the other pillar system, you would. And I was trying some different things out. I didn't think I liked that. And I don't think I like that one either, the wood, because it got those weird horizontal lines. If it was all straight up, it was a possibility. So here, I'm looking at the ender tank, and the ender tank here, important bit, we need 4 blaze rods for 1, but we're going to need 2, right? We need 1 for in the nether and 1 for in the overworld. And then I got to thinking, we have that one blaze bee that we accidentally made, and I stopped it because I didn't want it to burn down the hut. So we looked to see what it needs to make, or to operate. You need that magma cake, so we're looking at what it takes to make a magma cake. And unfortunately, you need those magma creams to be melted down in the Tinker smeltery. So then I start looking at a ranged weapon for the nether, and I come up with maybe trying a throwing knife from Tetra, right? Sounds neat. So here I am testing it out. But the big drawback is it is really a throwing knife. Once you throw it, you have to go get it. Finally, I grabbed one of these warp scrolls. I found these in a chest somewhere. You can set them to an area. So I was going to set one to home, and I was going to set one at the nether fortress. So I'm looking at the map, trying to remember where it is, and then I see it down there at the bottom of the map. So we just start heading south, right? And on the way, I find this kind of fancy-looking nether... not another fortress. I find the fancy looking nether portal. That's the word I was looking for. And there's a chest. So here it is. The cool find of the chest is night vision goggles. All right. And then I'm just digging along, getting to the fortress, and what do we find? Hidden in the depths. We got our ancient debris. So I go ahead and mine that. And then I keep mining behind, but there was nothing else. So here we are in the fortress itself. And let's just kind of speed through this. I've never really seen those gold bars before. They look really cool. So I was kind of thinking, maybe I'd come back. And I leave that block there so I can find the exit. And, I'm looking at this guild. I'm thinking at this point, this must be rare. Wow, but it's not. I actually find quite a few more of them. So here we are just looting everything. We did actually find another warp scroll. I thought it had duplicated for a second, but it didn't. So that's cool. I figure I'll keep that warp scroll on me, and then we'll make 2 warps back to the Nether Fortress just so I don't, lose out on one. Looking at some weird terrain generation here. Gotta dig the hole to get through. So we come right into a room with nether wart and soul sand. So I figure I'll take all of that, right? Nether wart is always useful for potions and things like that. So once we get a blaze rod, we can actually make the brewing stand, which would let us make potions. So it's better to get it now than later. But there's another one of those guilds. And here I find a spell, which is the first spell I found in the world, I'm pretty sure. And that spell is cool. It lets you sort of leap really long distances and then slow fall. Because I have the float mechanic, I don't know that it's super handy, or I also don't take fall damage. And then I'm looking at that block and I'm like, what is it? It turns out to just be a bee's nest. Right, we want to make sure we explore everywhere. And there's our first blaze. All right, get the shield equipped. Here we go. No drop. Actually, unfortunately, was fairly unlucky with drops for quite a while. That chest had a bomb in it, which is kind of neat, but I didn't want to play with bombs and potentially blow myself up at this point, because I don't really know how they work. I'm sure it's pretty simple. You just chuck it and it blows, it's probably like a, a throwable TNT. I was just peeking through the window here, and that's where I think we started, was up at that other window we could see. So, you might have noticed I place all my torches on the left side, and that way, I think I probably talked about this, but that way I know which way I came from. If they're on the right side, I'm going back to where I started. If they're on the left side, I'm going away from where I started. So it's just helpful for me. I found a zombified piglin spawner here, which is pretty neat. I don't know if I've ever seen one of those before, and I'm pretty sure you can use these guys for gold farms, so I wanted to mark the location down so we didn't lose it, because we might come back here, make use of it, or, silk touch it. Well, look, inside this chest we got another guild. I think that's the 4th one I found. So then we come up here. Interestingly enough, I don't think I've ever also seen a strider spawner. And we get really unlucky with these chests because they're not spawning any items in them. But I do mark the spawner because it's unique. I don't know that you can actually use them for anything. So here we are, finding our first blaze spawner. There's a blaze sitting in there already as well. Boom, killed him and saw, oh look, our first blaze rod. So that's great. But we still need 7 more. So I kind of stick around here just a little bit. And that spawned 3. And when blazes come in 3s, bad things happen. So look, I mean, we went down to, I think it was 4 hearts right there, which is pretty low. So we got to eat some food, get that life back up, and then I run back in there. Let's go ahead and make sure we got our shield up, get this going. The fire does quite a bit of damage. But I was going to stick around there longer, but when I turned around, there's a blaze in the hallway. There's a second blaze in the hallway, and there's a third blaze in the hallway, and a 4th blaze in the hallway. So I didn't want to go back to that spawner because the hallway behind was getting real dangerous. I'm not sure where they came from. I looked up, I didn't see anything up. They might have just spawned in the hallway itself, but we still have that one right around the corner here. And this is really, I was wishing that I had fire protection on my armor, which is something I could have done, I should have done before coming here, but I didn't get around to it. In fact, I usually don't get into the enchantment system for quite a long time in the game. When really, as soon as you get diamonds, you can kind of make your enchantment table. So I probably should have really done that. But anyways, still looking around, this nether fortress is quite large, and we find our first wither skeleton. I'm not really after those skeleton heads right now, so I don't really care to farm them, but I'm going to kill him if he's there. I'm mostly looking for blazes, but I will say I was also looking for chests too. There's some interesting loot in these chests. I popped my head into the top of that room and I got a little scared, right? There was a wither skeleton and a blaze right there. I saw 2 more, so I wanted to pull that one with the throwing knife. Of course, he didn't pull, so I had to get a little close to him. Easy peasy. Get them both. I did get withered off of that, but it's, you know, as long as you're not getting hit after you get withered, it's fine. I don't think wither itself can kill you. It's like poison. It just takes you down to 1 heart or half a heart. At this point, I could hear a blaze, so I'm kind of trying to look for it. So I started digging in the wall. Couldn't find it. Start digging in the ceiling. Didn't see a hole or an opening, so I'm not sure where that blaze was. However, I come down here, I turn right, and look, there's stairs going up. I was probably hearing the blaze spawner that's over here. And so I'm like, all right, great. We'll farm the rest of our blaze rods. I think at this point I only have 3. I'll open my inventory in a second to check. But again, there was 2 blazes and then a single spawns. And that's, you know, easy enough to deal with. Yeah, we only have 3. We got the 3 from the first spawner and then from the hallway. And our night vision wore off, which makes things a lot darker. But yeah, we still need 5 more rods at this point. So we've got to farm a few more. And I'm also thinking, where am I going to put the scroll for returning? I don't want to make it in the blaze spawning room because that could be dangerous, but I do want it close. So that was sort of in the back of my head at this point. Take a look. I think we had seen 6 blaze rods, so we're getting real close to that 8 target. And yeah, I mean, look, when you get caught on fire, that's immediately 3 hearts that you're going to lose. Not to mention, when you're touching the blaze, if the blaze shoots you, you take damage, not just the fire damage. If the blaze bumps into you, you take damage because they're on fire, right? So here we are. 9 blaze rods. I start thinking, all right, maybe I should leave. And then I decide, you know, actually, I could really use a couple more, right? There's other crafts that require blaze rods. So I wanted to have a few extras. So here we are. Now I'm up to 10. Running out of food. I should have left, but I didn't. Oh, is that a 3 spawn? Oh no. Oh no! Oh, the greed got me. The greed got me. This feels terrible. Oh man. So there you have it. That greed for a few extra blaze rods got me into a situation where there were 3 spawns. I go in, I kill 2, but a few more spawned in, and they were all around me. I'm pretty sure I actually died from touching them, not from one shooting me, but I'm not entirely sure on that. So in hardcore, when you die, you're dead. You get 1 life. So you get to spectate, and I zoom around a little bit here, looking at the bee house we did. I showed around the area that we started, you know, our temporary base over there, that dungeon. Start looking at the storage room. I just showed off the progress earlier. I'm very proud of it. I'm probably going to have to try reusing the idea here and actually finishing the idea that I had in my head for what this could be. And then I tried to fly over to the wood farm just to take a quick look at that as well, because that took quite a decent time to set up, and I was proud of how it worked. It definitely needed some more optimization, but the framework was certainly there. But unfortunately, the way that the spectate works after you're dead, I'm not sure it wanted to load chunks in on me because I'm not really a playable character. I'm not sure, right? So the spawn point is loaded because that's where it has me listed. And I looked at the boat, the crocodile wasn't even there either, so that was the end. That was the end. So, what, did you like the series? Would you like to see something more of this, another attempt at a hardcore version of Enigmatica 6, a different mod pack, maybe an expert mod pack where, progression is gated, you have to do certain mods in order to get to other mods, or maybe even an entirely different game. We did play Guild of Dungeoneering recently. I've also gotten into Project Zomboid. That could be a fun one to make some videos on. So please let me know. I'm definitely up for more Minecraft anytime, though. So as always, I've been Merc Serene, and thanks for watching, even in horrible defeat.